what's shaking, my friends? Welcome back to my channel. My name is Shay, and today we're going to talk about what I'm going to read in the month of August. First of all, let's talk about July for just a minute. So, my content kind of got pushed back. As you know, I had COVID at the end of June, early July, and then my family decided to adopt another dog. We lost one of our dogs in December, and we just now decided to get another dog, and so we adopted one. We adopted a female 2-year-old pit bull, and we've had her for 3 weeks, and she's fitting into our family. She has some behavioral issues, some problems, but we are really working very hard with her, and so my reading has kind of suffered a little bit, and my content has suffered here on YouTube, trying to kind of rehab this dog to be a great part of our family. She is such a sweet dog, and we are hoping that she'll be a great addition to our family. But with that out of the way, we're going to talk about, I'm going to rant for just a minute, because if you saw my July TBR video, you know that one of my goals was to continue on with series. It was going to be like the July series read-a-thon. So here's the thing. I do not understand, in the year of 2022, why putting recaps in front of books is not a thing by now. I don't understand it. I get more joy reading my books if I remember what happened in the one that came before it. And honestly, my enjoyment of series has been completely stunted by the fact that I don't remember what happened in the book before. I don't have time to reread the previous books. Either A, I'm going to have to read them back to back to back, which sometimes my mind gets tired of reading the same exact thing, which also stunts my enjoyment. Or, I'm just going to have to give up on series. I don't know what it is. I don't understand why, publishing companies don't listen to readers. Like, first of all, recap your books. Second of all, I kind of understand it in publishing more than I do in self-published books. Listen, authors, you are in charge of what you do with your own self-published works. The reason why I don't read as much self-published works as published books is because I cannot remember what happened in the previous books. There is not a recap. A lot of these popular series that we have in traditional publishing do have you can Google it, a recap, and get a recap. But if you're a self-published author, I would love to read more self-pub books. But the actual reality of it is that I don't remember what happened in the book previous, and so I'm just not going to read you. I'm really sorry. And I don't, you guys are authors, and you're able to put whatever you want to in the front of your books. Please put a recap. Please. Anyway, that's all I'm going to say about that. We can kind of smooth the transition into what I'm going to do about the August TBR, because I want to get done with some series. So we're going to continue on with series in the month of August. The only thing about this is, if I'm not vibing with the book, I'm going to DNF the series. 100%, if I don't remember what happened and my enjoyment is stunted, I'm going to just DNF the series. I am going to do a series kind of check-in video shortly if you're interested in that. But we're going to just continue along with series, and I'm hoping to get rid of majority of my series that I'm in the middle of it, hoping to get done with them by the end of the year, so that I can start some new series and maybe do it a little bit differently so that I can remember and enjoy more of what I'm reading. With that being said, we'll hop right into the books that I'm going to read in the month of August. The first one is a series that I have been ongoing for a long time, and hopefully I know I won't probably finish by the end of the year, but hopefully early 2023, and that's going to be the Dresden Files, and this one is going to be Changes. So this is the book that everybody talks about being probably one of the best Dresden books in the entire series, that it's emotional, and am I ready for it? I really don't know, but I'm looking forward to reading this one. I probably, out of every book that I'm reading this month, this is probably the number one that I'm looking forward to. The next book is going to be Black Flame by Will White, which is the third book in the Cradle series, and I'm just going to be quite honest with you. This is a series that I may choose to DNF depending on how this book goes. Spoiler alert for my July wrap-up. That will be coming soon. So, yeah, we'll talk about it more in my July wrap-up, but Black Flame is on the TBR in August. Another book that's going to be on my TBR that's going to round up a series is going to be Fly Away by Kristen Hanna. I read Firefly Lane in the month of June, I believe, and I gave it 5 stars. Loved it. Absolutely brought a copy for myself. However, I haven't heard the best things about Fly Away being a sequel, and I don't know. I may DNF this as well. I'm not quite sure, but I want to give it a shot this coming up month. And we are going to be continuing on in this series by Sabatier, and that is going to be A Reaper at the Gates. So I'm also really looking forward to this installment in the series. This doesn't close it out. I've got one more book after this one, but really looking forward to continuing on. The next series that is going to happen this month is A Conjuring of Light by V.E. Schwab. This will conclude the series for me. And we will talk about it more in my July wrap-up. The One by Kiera Cass. This is the 3rd in the selection series. There's 5 books, but this will conclude the first arc with these original characters. So the next 2 books do have some of the original characters in, but a lot of time has passed. So this will kind of conclude, and I'm not sure if I'm going to continue on after this one and just say, hey, I read the first 3 books and I don't care about the time jump and what happens next. We'll see. We'll see. Next is a continuation of a book that I read. I can't remember what month it was. It was earlier this year, but that is going to be A Vow of Thieves. This is by Mary A. Pearson. I was slightly disappointed in A Dance in Thieves. I really, really love the Remnant Chronicles by this author, and this takes place in the same world, which, of course, it's a fantasy romance. However, I thought the romance was really heavy with only a little bit of fantasy, and that's normally not how I like it. I like it like 50-50 if I'm reading a fantasy romance. I still like to have fantasy in there, and there is some fantasy in here, just not as much as I would have liked, but I'm going to continue on, and this is just a duology, so Vow of Thieves will complete that up for me. The next one is Gods and Monsters by Shelby Mahurin. This will complete this trilogy that first started with Serpent and Dove for me this month, and I'm looking forward to continuing on and getting this series off of my plate. The next one is the oh so cute continuation of the graphic novel Heartstopper. This will also conclude the Heartstopper series for me, and I will be up to date waiting for the next volume to come out. The next one is going to be Firefight by Brandon Sanderson. Now, I read the first one, Steel Hearts, earlier this year and thought it was fine. I gave it 3 stars, so I'm not quite sure how I'm going to feel about this book. This could be one that I'm potentially am going to DNF. I am not sure, but this is his YA fantasy story that I don't know. It's probably one of my least favorite Brandon Sanderson things that I've ever read. Not to say that it's not good. And lastly, I'm going to say that I'm going to read The Garden of Empire by J.T. Greathouse, which is the 2nd book that is coming out in August. I have an arc of it, and it starts with The Hand of the Sun King, and I'm very much looking forward to this. The Hand of the Sun King was a 5-star read, and I read it in December of last year, and I pretty much still have it in my brain of everything that happened in that book, and so I cannot wait. I'm so happy to have an arc of this and hope to get it done this month. Alright, so I didn't go through what most of those books are about just because majority of them are just 2, 3, 4 books in the series, and I can't really speak much of what they are about. But tune in to my July wrap-up where I talk about a lot of the series that I continued on with and how I felt about it. And in the month of July, I took it upon myself to really honestly take a look at what I'm doing with my series life and my reading life and my book life. And I do hope to have a video coming up soon about my series check-in and what I have decided to do, because my enjoyment is just, I read for fun, and my enjoyment is just going down, 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 down. And most of that is due to the fact that, like, I'm picking up continuation of series, but I read so much that I can't remember what happened in the installment before. And if I can't find a recap, like I said earlier, it really stunts my enjoyment. So while even the first book could have been a 5-star read, you know, the continuation is 2 or 3 stars because I can't remember what happened in book 1 or whichever the previous book was. So that's all I have to say today, and I hope to check in September and just have a better attitude about things, and I'm hoping to feel a little less anxiety about all the series that I have ongoing. And my goal is not to start any new series for a little bit of time until I wrap some of the series I have going on up. And I think that I can do that. And I know that I have asked this question before about, you know, how do you guys know what happened in the next first installment or the book before? And some of y'all just say that y'all just read and it just jogs your memory. But my memory just doesn't work that way because I read so much. I mean, at this point in time, I've probably read 115 books this year by the end of July. I don't know the exact number, but that is a lot of books. And so some of the series I haven't continued on with since last year. So I've read 200 books since the last time I read book 1 in the series. I don't know. But I just know that I am aiming to have a better time with my reading. Let me know what you think about authors not putting recaps in the front of their books. Let me know. So anyway, I hope August goes all kind of well for everybody. I hope y'all really have a great reading month, and I hope that I do as well. Let me know what you're planning on reading in the month of August.